Hello, welcome to Mart's Garage. I'm back looking at the 100E again in this area of the floor and the inner sill, and I'm going to start tackling this area here. This is the inner sill, and what I thought I would do to start the ball rolling is replace the piece of the original inner sill that is missing from here. So I'm just going to put a piece along there and up behind here and on there, and I might even be able to reach up and spot weld it, I'm not sure. Just a flat piece, and then this piece will join to the piece that I'm going to put on, just to get the levels right, because this piece, you know, there's a gap between this piece and there. But by doing it like that, I might be able to tidy up these holes a little bit, because they don't look very good. Yeah, I think I'll just put a nice simple piece of metal along here and just make a start. I have this conundrum in this area here where I can only really fix it from above, but this big piece here is in the way really. I might end up cutting this out to gain access and then welding it back in again. Let's try and take this piece of trim off and see what we're dealing with here. That's probably a good idea. Okay, back in a little bit then. Hello, I applied some thought to this piece here and I've just removed it. I'll just put it back in place to show you roughly. There's spot weld, spot weld, spot weld, braze, 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 braze I think at the back. So I'll cut it down there like that, and I've got that piece out of the way. So there's no reason why that couldn't be put back in afterwards. You know, straighten the flanges up, weld it back together. Okay, that's another piece out the way. It's amazing how strong this was actually. I think it does add a lot of strength to the vehicle, so it's worth keeping it in place if you can. So I've got good access to the area above the triangular piece, so I will cut a section of this away now and start putting one of those back, make another one of those pieces to go underneath. I might try and minimize the cut from above, so I'll wire wheel it and look for the spot welds. Okay, you'll get the idea anyway in a minute. There'll be a great big hole there. I'll bring you back in a little while. Okay, let's have a look at this job. I've cut out a piece from the floor and taken out the piece that runs down there. I've still got a piece of the flange left on that edge up there, and I've still got a little bit left there. I'll show you from underneath. Okay, this is the view from underneath. I've left this piece here. I don't know if I'm going to leave it there or continue to trim it off. I'm not sure yet. I do know that it wasn't easy to plug weld those bits there when I did the other side, and that one is welded on the inside up there. So I might try and leave this in place and weld to it. So I'm going to have a piece coming down the back there, a piece coming around here, actually to there, and then a capping piece on the bottom. So, and I could probably do the back piece and the bottom piece in one go. I suppose it's best to get some cardboard and start making pieces rather than just keep staring at it. The complication for me is that I need to finish this, but I'm a little bit worried about cutting away this piece here, because that is this piece here is the only thing joining all this to the inner sill. You know, this is all compromised. I mean, this is okay, but if you consider that my brace is from here to there, you know, none of this has been held together here. I don't know what I'm trying to prevent against, to be honest. I'll have to assume that it's just going to be okay, or I could at least put this piece in. It's not very good viewing for you to watch me trying to work out what to do, so I will bring you back when I've made my mind up and I've started making started making some parts. Okay, righto, back in a bit then. Hello. I sort of was worried about the fact that there's only this tiny little bit of metal here joining this part to the inner sill, so I thought, yeah, okay, it's probably the best idea to repair this piece first. Because I'd cut the inner sill out a little bit odd here, I've let a piece in there which is making up for the thickness of the inner sill, you know, just so this flange, for instance, can join on there. I could probably weld around here as well. And as you can see, I was able to reach up and spot weld this in. I've prepared these for plug welds here, and I've done that thing where I drill right through to try and make sure the arc starts on the you know, lowest level of metal. When I've got this piece in place, I feel a little bit happier about cutting this piece out. Let's keep the momentum going then. I've got a brand new helmet. I bought it, ordered it yesterday and just picked it up today. I don't know how good it is. We'll find out in a minute. Okay, I'll get set up for welding then, and I'll bring you back when there's more to show. I haven't done a lot of filming because I just wanted to get this one blasted out. So I have welded that piece onto the inner sill to kind of make up the difference in the thicknesses there, this piece. I've cut this piece out. I marked where I wanted a bend and I shrunk it on that flange and welded it in. And you can see there I got some decent beads going here. I was doing about a 1/4 inch bead at a time. This wasn't so good because this piece here was a little bit messier, but I think that's new metal there. Yeah, that's new metal. That's new metal, that's new metal, so they join together okay. That was new metal, they join together okay. I didn't want to cut this out until I put this in, so what I want to do is cut the end out, replace the end onto the inner sill, much in the way as I did this one here, you know, underneath, and then I can build that odd shape piece there. Okay, another little part of the job knocked off the list. Plenty more to do, plenty done as well, you'd have to say. It's a bit dangerous, isn't it? I just noticed all that's been on fire there, look. I didn't even know. Luckily, you know, it's burnt itself out. Blimey, got to be careful, haven't you? It's always worth coming back in and having a look a little bit time after you've finished. Yes, lesson to self. Look out for smoke. Okay, righto. Oh, yeah. My new helmet seems to be okay. It's got a nice big field of vision. It's very light when there's no arc struck. Yeah, I don't know if there's some settings I need to mess with, but yeah, it seems pretty good, and I've got it nice and comfortable. So yeah, a bit of a success there. Okay. Thanks a lot for joining me in the garage then. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Hello, I'm back out working on the 100E and I'm looking at this repair. What I want to do is cut away this area here so I can rebuild it. I've welded this piece in, which I did yesterday, and I thought, well, I'll just add this second little brace here to sort of, in case this wants to move up or down a little bit, this will give me a little bit of a hint if it's trying to do that. It'll either buckle or, you know, break. If it doesn't do anything, I'll know that it hasn't really tried to move. Okay, I'm going to cut this area away here and then reconstruct it underneath and then tackle the awkward shaped piece there. I haven't got a very long session today because I'm going out later and I'm already late starting, but I'll do what I can. So that little bit of red cardboard there, it took me quite a while to get that shape. Every face has angles on it, and what I found was it's easier to try and get the shape if you're not trying to deal with the flanges at the same time. So as long as you know that, you know, the end needs a flange on each side and these two pieces need flanges on them, you can add those on afterwards. And what helped in this instance is kind of, I held a ruler against these faces and projected the shape onto the inner sill there and kind of drew on what I expected. So I was able to kind of nestle this into there. You can see it's got an angle on that face, an angle on that face, you know, and so on. So I'll get this copied in metal with the flanges on and I'll get that offered into place. Hello, see that massive clamps and things there? That's holding my metal piece in place. That is just a sort of a trial fit, and what I'll do now, I'll take it out and clean up all the areas that need to be joined with the belt sander, and then I'll start trying to tack it in. Hello, you join me under the car. You can see my piece of metal welded in. It ain't great, but it ain't bad. You can see the welds where I've welded it on the inside there. There's a small overlap and it's spot welded up onto the inner sill, and I gave them a good long burn. I'm not sure I've got the angles quite right here, but you know, as I say, it's close enough for government work. This area here will be the next thing to be addressed. But this is one little part of the jigsaw puzzle that has to be in place. Okay, let's have a quick look from above. Okay, here we are looking from above. You can see the welds there and there and there. You can't see any welds there because it's spot welded, you know, on the flanges. It's looking okay, if you ask me. I need to make a piece that will come across here and plug weld it on and then weld this piece to it. This piece doesn't appear to be snapped off or bowed, so the heights have stayed the same. That's my little sort of, possibly a brace, but more a telltale really, because it's not, you know, massively strong. Okay, that'll do for a little session today. Thanks very much for joining me in the garage. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then, bye. Hello, oh, where is it? Hello, it's September and it's the heart of England. There's Mike's Pontiac over there, that gold coloured one, and it's in remarkable condition, a true survivor. The interior's beautiful on it. Just having a look round. I'm not going to do a walk around because we've seen lots of the cars before. My friend's over there with his red 34. There's a gentleman there with a 32 coupe right over there, over the back. I think I've seen that Jag replica at Gaydon. But what caught my eye is this standard Vanguard. And what I like about it is the way it sits up high, which makes me think of, these were popular, you know, in Australia and South Africa and places like that, where I'm just wondering if like this has been re-imported, because it is in remarkably good condition, and both of those countries would have had right-hand drive. What I'm looking at is the way it's been presented as basically just cleaned up and some repairs, but not over the top or painted or tried to blend in. Because I'm looking for, you know, ways to do my 100E. I mean, the doors are rusted, so are mine. But this looks pretty good to me. I like the way it sits. Yeah, I like it. Big tyres, standard wheels, standard hubcaps. Yeah, looking good to me. I don't know what other people think. I'd drive that. Okay, I don't really know what else to show because we have showed a lot of things. This is that Avenger that I showed before. Very nice, immaculate. Nice Zephyr over the back there, a Mark II. I say Zephyr, it's actually a Consul because it's a 4-cylinder, the white one. Lovely Buick here. Yeah, I wouldn't mind talking to the owner of this one if I can see them buy the car. I haven't brought one of mine tonight. I've come up in the Zephyr with Jeff. I'm going to call it good at that. I just wanted to basically capture some of that standard Vanguard. There's a 32 3-window there, look. But you can see it's a good turnout. Look at the car, they're all parked all over the other side tonight. Okay, thanks for joining me at the heart of England then. Just a very, very quick one this time round. Okay, take care then. Catch you on the next one. Bye. Hello. I'm under the car. I have a metal piece that I've made that goes up there. It's got a flange on the top and it bends round, comes down here. And I've got a cardboard template of the piece that I'm going to try and use here. I'm going to try and do it out of one piece. And I've got to get it and then tack it to this. Then take everything off, weld it to this, and then offer it in. I will be welding new to old along here and new to old there and new to old here. I can spot weld down here, so that's easy, relatively easy. So, and then it'll be a case of putting a new floor on top and plug welding. Okay, right. I haven't done a lot of filming because it's rather tricky work. I'll take this piece out. There's my piece that there's my piece that I've made. How I'm going to weld that bit there, I don't know yet. I might cut this back and then try and get the spot welder in there from above. Righto, okay, it's not easy, it's tricky, and I'll be back in a bit. Hello, I folded up that shape, and it's not fitting too bad. I haven't got it on the inside of that piece like I thought I was going to. Put it on the outside of that, the existing piece there, that piece that's still there. And again, it's the old thing of, you can get that piece to, you know, you can get this piece to fit, you can get that piece to fit, but you can't get them to fit together. Well, I can. I've just got to revise the way I'm doing it. I'll show you it from underneath. It don't look too bad. That needs pushing up, so that can be welded there. Well, it'll be welded on the inside actually. So let me do some reshaping on the inside piece, on that piece, and see if I can get them to fit together. I'm just about to grind this off. This is the slight overlap that I had on the two pieces of metal. So I'm going to grind that off. I got a good weld on the inside. I don't know if you can see that. Got a decent weld on the inside. That's a big blob there. It didn't want to take there for some reason. It was where I'd tacked it. But I got a good bead there. Good penetration, so I can grind this off. I thought I'd just show you what it looks like before I grind it off. Okay, back in a bit. Here's my piece that I've been making. I welded it on the inside, and I have just ground it all along there. It looks okay, I think. It looks pretty good. I'll just offer it in place and see how it looks, and then when I do a bit more I will address this, see how I want to do this, and see how I want to do that. Haven't got the light on the camera. This flange here, and see how it looks when it's in place. Hopefully it should be okay. Okay, righto. That's quite a lot of work there. And when this is in, I've got to close all the floor up where I've cut it all out. The hard part on this side might be the welding of this to the existing piece. I'll sling it on then and see how it looks. Back in a little bit. Hello, it's another day. I've got this piece, so I think it's ready to go in. I'll drill some little pilot holes there for the plug welds. This is all kind of prepared. You can see holes down where? You can see holes down there for the plug welds. Yeah, okay. It's not going to be perfect welding conditions on that splice into those remnants of the old piece, but I'll give it my best shot. Righto, back in a bit. Hello, welcome to Mart's garage. It's very hot in the garage today. It's very warm outside. I've been continuing with this repair in this area behind here. You can see some spots there. That's because I've just spot welded that there. Here's the piece from the inside. I offered it in, it all fitted well, and I plug welded it down there. I did get the spot welder in here, but I managed to burn a hole there. But I've got one below it and one above it, just about. But it doesn't really matter if there's a hole, because, you know, it can vent between there and there now. I welded down that face, along the bottom, and up this face here. The weld on this side was awkward because I was reaching round like that, but I think I've got it okay. I went along the bottom here with the spot welder, and I went along here with the spot welder as well, so it's really well attached now, and you can see there the penetration of the weld on that piece. Oh, hang on. Oh yeah, that's okay. That's alright. And there's 3 little welds there holding that piece on. So from underneath that's all done now. Yeah, so I've got a couple of more plug welds to do up there, and then start making the pieces to go to box it all in at the top. Righto, I will continue and bring you back when there's more to show. Hello. I've just come back out just to check that there's nothing smouldering or anything like that, and the paint that I put on earlier has more or less dried. I drilled a couple of holes, one there, look, and one down there, and there's another one there, a big one there, and I drilled a hole there as well. It's just to allow venting between the compartments and to try and cut down on condensation. I haven't come out to do any work, I've just come out just to check that nothing's on fire, but I just thought I'd turn the camera on because I didn't show that section with any paint on it. Okay, take care and I'll catch you tomorrow. Cheers then, bye. Hello. Here's the hole that needs to be filled in. I've trimmed that piece off, that piece that I bent back. I've took off a piece of metal that was on there, and I've took off a piece of metal that was there, so that the new piece will bridge the old metal and the new metal, and will bridge this piece of metal and that piece of metal, you know, joining them together in effect. This is a cardboard template showing the shape, more or less. So I'm going to transfer that to a piece of metal and get it cut out and hopefully get those pieces welded in. Hello, right, I cut my piece of metal out, but to make it easier to fit I cut it across the narrow part there to make it into 2 pieces, because I've just spent quite a while fitting this piece down here. It slips under there, it will butt weld here, it'll plug weld here, it'll lap weld there, lap weld there, butt weld there, lap weld there, lap weld there, lap weld there, lap weld there. So I'm going to get this piece in place, then I'll look after the other piece. I might have a problem here where I can't get to my plug welds because of the brace, but to be honest, when this is in place I can probably take the brace off anyway. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Hello, right, I had a little break and I've come back out and I've got the repair piece, both pieces welded in. This piece was done a couple of days ago. The underneath piece was done yesterday, and these 2 pieces I've done today. And it was easier to fit them separately. Yes, it was a lot easier to fit them separately, so I've just got that short weld across the middle there. And that was like keyhole surgery to get at the parts underneath, to be able to weld those in. So yeah, quite pleased with that. I'll give it a grind and I'll give it a coat of paint. Let's have a look underneath. Oh yeah, see that? Okay, let me explain what that's for. This little bit here sunk down a long way, and this bit was high, and I got no way of pushing that piece up. I didn't want to knock this piece down, I wanted to push this piece up. So I drilled a hole there and poked this through and kind of, you know, looked in here while I was pressing down on it, and then was able to get it positioned correctly and push the piece up. So I was able to push this piece up and just hammer this piece gently to get it aligned okay. Good little trick if you can do it, if you've got somewhere that won't be harmed by having a hole in, just another breather hole. Another fairly major repair completed. One of those that, if you're anything like me, if you're not sure how to do it, or not looking forward to do it, or you know, in any way uncertain, it tends to take a long time before I start. I've got to virtually be forced into doing it. In other words, there's no other way to carry on other than by doing it. Okay, right, grinder time, lick of paint, call it good. Hello. I have cleaned this area all along here, and then I kind of remembered something that I wasn't able to do. I wasn't able to do the welding on this piece here. So as I've cleaned all the tools out of there, and I've got only a few things left here, I thought what I would do is, instead of rushing just to try and get a bit of paint on this area here, is I will take this brace out, which will allow me to finish that job. I can grind that, I can wire brush this whole floor and paint the whole floor. I thought that'd be a good thing to do. But what I can do as the first thing is take this brace out. So what I thought I would do is, okay, the door is shut. See that rust spot there? If I go in line with that, I don't know what this will prove, but, oops, but basically that is 3mm, just under 1/8 of an inch. So let's see what it is when I undo the clamp. Hang on. I mean, it might move a bit. I mean, the silly thing is, I didn't take a measurement before I started. So that's it. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good, because it's come loose quite quickly, so there isn't a lot of give in it. Okay, I've got the clamp out. It came loose quite quickly, so that means that, you know, it hasn't. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it looks just the same. Well, it's 3mm again, isn't it? Yeah, 3mm. Okay. So it hasn't moved after I took the clamp off. And, you know, you'd have to say that gap's pretty good. It's just like it was before. That's despite having all the side cut out of the car. Okay, right. That's good then, isn't it? And that does mean that I can finish this off now, although it's rather late in the evening, so I might not do it now. I'll have a look at the time, and if it's not too late, I can drill, you know, clean up the edges and plug weld, and then grind. No, I'll leave it till tomorrow, I think, because I've got to wire brush the whole thing. No sense in rushing. I've done well today. Made good progress over the last few days. Patch number 1, patch number 2, patch number 3, patch number 4, and major structure under there, plus a minor structure up there. That's been all over about the last 4 or 5 days. I was pleased when I took that brace off, though, that nothing appears to have moved. So yeah, well, well worth doing, I think. Well worth doing. Keeping that tension on there during all the welding jobs. Okay, another little thing to file away as useful information. Okay, take care and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then, bye. Hello, welcome to Mart's Garage. I am working on my floor on this side, and I have wire brushed the whole floor, including back up there, and you know, the intention is to give it a coat of paint. I was scraping this area here and I've noticed these holes, so it would be silly to put a coat of paint on there because that would stop me from, you know, mending that there. I also noticed a couple of small holes down there, so I think the best thing for me to do right now is mend that and mend that before I paint the floor. But at least I've cleaned the floor so that when I'm ready to paint it, it'll just be a case of sweeping it out and I'll be able to do it. The other thing that I've remembered that I need to do is underneath here I need to put a dent in the inner sill. So yeah, you know, you do one round of work and it highlights the next thing, doesn't it? Still, there's no sense moaning about it. Just got to get cracking on, haven't you, and get it done. Okay, righto. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Hello. You join me under the car. See there where I've made that mark? I need to put a depression into the metal sticking outwards. It's got to have a bulge on this side here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my oxyacetylene, but not with acetylene, with propane, and I'm going to warm it up and hit it with a hammer, this hammer. That's what I think I'm going to do. Let's see how it goes. Well, that didn't go very well, because I can see that I've bust the sill away there, up there. So I'm going to have to dress it back that way at the top now. Broke the weld there, look. Bloody hell, I didn't really want that to happen. Oh well, let's just fix it. The whole panel has come away a bit there, so I need to get this knocked back and get it re-welded on. Let me work on this then, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. But I have got the basic shape into there. I have got the basic shape into that bulge there, so I need to kind of rework it now. It's a shame that I could have done that ever so easy on the press, you know, if I'd have remembered it before I welded it on. Okay, righto, back in a bit. Oh, that's pushed it back. That's pushed it back by and large. A bit too much possibly. Okay, well that's got the basic shape that I wanted anyway. So I need to get underneath. Weld, weld, weld. Weld, 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 weld. And I'm going to see if I can put a weld on the other side as well. Up above. And I've put a few dents in this, so I'm going to try and just hammer and dolly it a bit just to get the dents out. Although it doesn't matter. I might not bother. But I've got it back where it needs to sit anyway. Okay, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. At least I got my dent in it that I wanted. I think I'll cut along here, there, and cut that off so that I can get better access to this panel, then try and reach up and weld it from inside. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Back in a bit. Hello. I was able to put a clamp through there from inside the car and clamp this metal onto here, and I've been able to put a, not particularly tidy, but you know, hopefully an effective weld all the way along. Now I turned the settings up on my welder and it was a bit messy, and then I turned them back down again, and that little bit there was done with the lower settings, and I wish I'd have done the whole lot with that now. That was where the clamp was, so when I took the clamp off I did that bit there. Yeah, definitely with my welder, I don't know about other people's, but with my welder, for this sort of metal, even though this is like 16 gauge, the lowest setting on the welder works best. It's a lot stronger than it was. I always intended to do that, but I needed to cut this away first. And this thing here will work okay. And what I need to do now, I need to just kind of maybe put a centre pop around about there and drill a hole from this side. Then the bolt will come through down like that. So yeah, that breaking away on that side there prompted me to do this properly, which is, I did actually intend to do that, but I'd kind of forgotten about it, I must admit. Okay, right. Let's identify another little job then and see if we can get that knocked off the list. Back in a bit. Hello, I just went a bit mad with the angle grinder. I've cut that piece out from there. And there's this thick vertical seam here, which tends to get moisture in it. It's okay down to there, but I'm just going to delete that completely. I'm going to just come across with a piece of metal, put a dog leg in it, and weld it to this piece here and that piece there. Just completely seal the whole thing off from any chance of moisture coming in. Okay, back in a bit. Hello. Back to the old semi upside down welding, old material to new material. Rather messy. I did turn my gas up, which I think has helped. I don't know how much of this I showed. I made this little patch to go here to cover those holes that were in there. And the idea is that it'll go there, it'll seal everything up. It'll delete this troublesome seam that can cause problems. You can see how messy it is by the tacks. You know, this material does not like being welded to. But I have got it in there, and I am getting welds in there as well. Okay. I might grind the tops off the tacks, just so it makes it easier to run the weld past the tack. Because with these jobs, it ain't like a body panel where you want to do a bit here and a bit there and a bit there. It's best to just keep a run going if you can. Okay, back in a little bit. Oh, right. Done my little welding session. That side there didn't go too bad. what I did, I just ran the grinder down the edge to shine up the metal that I'm trying to weld to, and that side there is as it was. I did grind the tacks on that side, that did help. So, you know, once again, lessons learnt all the time. But that's okay. I've sealed it up as best I can. I've got to bend the bottom under, and I'm going to plug weld it from inside. But I'm going to have a break now. I'll come back later. But you do have to be very careful on these jobs because you can set fire to things. I was welding here, trying to fill a hole up that I'd burnt, and I set fire to that. But it's quite easy. You just get the torch and you just blow it out with the gas. Yeah, my drilling for my plug welds didn't go quite right there, so I need to sort that out. Okay, another little job done. Okay, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Cheers then. Bye. Hello. Right. I've come down here during the evening because I've done quite a bit of welding today, and I wanted to get a coat of paint on this so that, you know, it puts me ahead of the game for tomorrow. I haven't done the repair at the back, but I can paint up to that area. I have done the repair at the front, and I've put the plug welds in there. I've brushed it out and vacuumed it, and it's looking okay. The only thing I've noticed is a tiny little hole there and a little slit there that I need to weld, and a little slit there. So I'm going to paint it and leave a gap where the little areas are that still need attention, and then that will focus me on those little bits. But everything else can take a coat of paint now. Oh, sorry for swinging around. Okay, here we are. I put a coat of paint on the floor. It's all looking pretty good actually. Looking pretty decent. Little repair to do there. Probably might even just put a bit of fiberglass in it, I don't know. Got another repair to do just at the back of that bit. And I need to just put a little bit of weld there. I forgot to miss it with the paint. Okay, so yeah. So there's a lot of work been done in this area. Patch there, patch there, jacking point delete there, box section underneath, rebuild under that area and that area, and major box section triangular awkward piece underneath that piece, and then the floor reinstated. So yes, so that'll do for today. Had a good session today. Good progress being made, and less and less jobs on the to-do list. So that's a good situation, isn't it? Thanks very much for joining me in the garage. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then. Bye.